What's going on, guys? Allie-RX here, and I know you guys are expecting a new review coming up, but rest assured, there will be 2 new episodes of the Allie-RX Show before the end of December. I can promise you that. But I wanted to make this video because not only did I want to make more topic-based vlogs or gaming-related topic-based vlogs like this one, but this is a sort of rant that I really wanted to talk about, and it's related to the PS2 Games on PS4 announcement, and it really bothers me. Not because everyone is complaining about it, but it really genuinely bothers me, and here's why. Because ever since the PlayStation 3, or ever since like the later versions of the PS3 after the 20 gig and 60 gigabyte versions, or excuse me, after the 80 gigabyte versions, Sony has been fucking up with backwards compatibility lately. Like, they nailed it with the PS2, and although the early PS3 was expensive, I'd say they did a great job with backwards compatibility. But after the 80 gig emulated PS2 backwards compatibility on PS3, after that was it. They pretty much started screwing up with backwards compatibility, and they pretty much started forcing gamers to buy PS2 games again, and they're doing it yet again with the PS4. Even though there are digital games on PSN for PS3, your PS2 classics do not carry over to the PS3. See, on the launch PlayStation 3, the 60 gigabyte version, it had PS1 and PlayStation 2 backwards compatibility. This was because they had both the Emotion engine, which was the original engine for the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2, as well as the Cell processor for the PlayStation 3. Now, however, the problem was the PS3 at that time was super expensive. The 20 gigabyte version was $500, and the 60 gigabyte version was $600. So Sony later released an 80 gigabyte version, still expensive, but Sony was able to cut costs with this one, but they were still able to maintain PS2 backwards compatibility. How did they do this? Emulation. Now you'd think this would have been a solution to this, mate, because it was understandable that they removed the Emotion engine on the 60 gigabyte PS3 and the 20 gigabyte PS3, but with emulation, and especially with the PlayStation 2 classics, after the 80 gigabyte version, you can't. There was no backwards compatible. They removed the emulation from the later versions of the PS3. It doesn't make sense to me. That should have been a cheaper solution. Not only that, all you do is insert the disc and it runs the game on emulated backwards compatibility. It's the same thing with PS1 backwards compatibility. And I'm pretty sure the PS2 classics for the PS3 run on the same emulation, on the same emulator that the original 80 gigabyte PS3 had, where you just insert the disc. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. So it tells me that Sony pretty much locked away the emulation, the PS2 emulation for the 80 gigabyte PS3 in later versions of the PS3, so that Sony will force you to buy PS2 games again. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. And now it's gotten much worse. It's bad enough the first time around, but you can't even transfer your PS2 classics from your PS3 to your PS4, not for free, not even for a discount. I mean, Microsoft and the Xbox One, they're able to play Xbox 360 games. They've allowed you to insert your Xbox 360 disc to your Xbox One and be able to play your 360 games through emulation for free. And your digital games for your Xbox 360 also carry over to your Xbox One for free as well. Why can't Sony do the same thing with the PS4? And Nintendo sort of did this with the Wii U Virtual Console. They sort of did this right as well. See, with the Wii's Virtual Console games, if you bought that same game on the Wii Virtual Console, you can get the Wii U version for like a fraction of that same price. Here, you have to pay $15 for PlayStation games that you've bought possibly more than once on physical disc, on the digital version, and now you're gonna get it again for full price? Are you kidding me? And the worst part about this is that there are Sony fanboys who, honest to God, defend this shit. Like, I cannot believe this. And they're saying like, oh, you should just shut up and deal with it. You just buy your games already. No! I gotta ask, do you like buying the same games over and over and over again for the same full price? Do you like buying the same PS2 games you've played already again and again and again for full fucking price? Are you kidding me? You Sony fanboys or Sony drones easily accept anything. In fact, fanboys in general, fanboys of corporations will take it up the ass and accept anything. That's what I mean. Fanboys of corporations will accept anything, even if it is complete bullshit. And that should not happen. Now, I know you're probably saying, well, not everyone has their PS2s anymore, so it would make sense to have them sell the digital games again. But that's the thing. You need to have options. Plus, look at what Microsoft is doing. They're doing backwards compatibility a hell of a lot better. And even Nintendo does Virtual Console better. Hell, the Wii U is fully backwards compatible with the Wii. And if you tinker around with the homebrew channel on the Wii in Wii mode, you can actually get full GameCube backwards compatibility as well. So, even though that's not really official, but still, both Microsoft and Nintendo have done backwards compatibility a lot better than Sony did. Sony just completely dropped the ball with backwards compatibility and retro games. Like, they just screwed up big time. Either that or they just become greedy. Like, they don't want to give you options because they want to make money off of this, off of you. And yet, people accept it. That's just fucked up. That is just fucked up on so many levels. Yes, the PlayStation 4 is the best-selling console. Yes, it is the most powerful console. And yes, it is the console with the most third-party support. And it's getting a lot more Japanese exclusives like fighters and JRPGs very soon. These are facts. These are cold hard facts. But when it comes to bullshit like this, you cannot defend Sony. I'm sorry. Sony is not perfect. The PlayStation 4 is not perfect. Sony is not completely for the players like their slogan says. I mean, really. You gotta see through this shit. No corporation is good, is completely good. Like, no game company out there is complete saints. They're all businesses. They're out to make money, and when they become very successful, they start becoming greedy. And when they start hurting, that's when they start pandering to the consumer. That's why you need to be smart. You gotta be smart gamers. You need to demand better. You gotta vote with your wallet and support things that are good, and do not support things that are bad. That's what people are trying to understand. Yet, don't call people who are complaining about this entitled or whiners or anything like that, because we have a right to complain about this, as not only compared to the competition, but you know, it's just wrong. This principle is just wrong. Buying the same games again and again and again and again, that's just ridiculous. And Please do not get me started with PlayStation Now. Like, oh my god. That is just terrible. Like, I honestly had hopes for the cloud service PlayStation Now, like, but damn, that was just a disappointment. Sony fucked up with PS Now, and then Sony fucks up with this. Unfucking believable. You know, maybe later down the road they'll admit they fucked up, and they'll allow PlayStation 2 discs to play on the PS2 emulator on the PS4. At the same time, I doubt I'll see that happen. Probably because the PS4 is just selling so well, you know, and then Sony is getting kind of cocky right now with this. It's a shame, really. It's a damn shame. Anyway, in short, PS2 games on PS4 is bullshit, and Sony needs to put proper backwards compatibility on the PS4, similar to how Microsoft has Xbox 360 backwards compatibility on the Xbox One. That's all they need to do. If the less powerful Xbox One can handle last gen Xbox 360 discs for free, don't you think the more powerful PS4 can easily read PS2 discs and run them just fine for free as well? Come on, you know Sony is doing bullshit like this. Come on, please do not defend this crap. That's all I gotta say. I'm Allie-RX, and I'll see you on the other side.